Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a fun challenge video. So I have a bin and in here I have all of my blue art supplies and I'm going to be using all of them to create one single illustration. So we're going to see how it goes. Let's get right into it. Alright, so here are all the swatches that we have of the art supplies. This includes acrylic paints, watercolors, markers, colored pencils, pens, all of that. It's a total of 55 art supplies, which is just a ton. I have no idea how I've acquired that many, but that's what we have to work with, and we're going to use them all. Now, the sketch that I have, I did ahead of time because I felt that it was going to be too much pressure to do the sketch on video. I'm not that great at drawing people, anatomy, all of that stuff. So I just did it ahead of time, and now we're going to get into coloring it, adding the details, adding the layers, and all of that good stuff. This is going to be my setup for this video. There's no way that I can fit all of the art supplies that I have into the frame, so I'm just going to have the swatch card here, and I will be crossing off the art supplies as I use them. The first art supply I'm going to be starting off with is watercolors. Now these don't come out of the pan, so I will just be using them in the container that they are in. And let's get started. I think I want the water to have a little bit of a warmer undertone, so I'm going to start off with this light warm blue. I think this is cerulean blue, but my pan of watercolors didn't come with a set of names, so I'm just assuming it looks cerulean. Such a pretty color. It's actually very similar in tone to the color of the sketching pencil that I used, which was light blue from Master Art. This is just a colored pencil, and I will be crossing that off as well because I used that for the sketch, and I'm counting that even though it might not show through too much. Please be kind in the comments if you do decide to comment, because I'm filming this in my bedroom on my phone with a pair of headphones. So no, it's not going to be professional quality, but I'm just trying to enjoy making art, so that's okay. So now so far I've used these three colors of the watercolor, and I'm pretty happy with how the background is looking. I do just want it to be a little bit more blendy. I took a little break from filming and continued to work on the painting a little bit. As you can see, I added some more of the dark blue onto the bottom of the painting, so now there's more of an exaggerated gradient, and I also crossed off the colors that I used on the illustration so far. I also used just some water and a little bit of a stiffer brush to lift some of the watercolor in the areas that I want to be a lighter tone. So that was the skin of the mermaid, the little beluga whale, I guess, friend, and then the glowing part of the anglerfish. And now I'm going to start with some different art supplies. I think I'm going to move into markers next. Okay, this is the first marker I'm going to be starting off with. This is mint blue from Ohuhu, and this is from the pastel set of markers. Something that I really struggled with when deciding on how to compose this illustration is deciding what color to make everything, especially the skin of the mermaid. It felt really intimidating picking a skin color from an assortment of different blues because I really don't want her to look dead in any way. So that's why I went for the lightest and warmest shade of blue I had in the markers. I colored outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. But yes, this is what I ended up choosing, and I'm going to start off with the markers and then I'm going to move into some line work and more layers and shadows after that. Alright, some progress has been made, so I used the shade Pale Aquamint from the Ohuhu Pastel Collection to add some shadows to the skin, and then I added some highlights with Cloud Blue. That wasn't my original plan, but it's what I ended up having to do to bring back some of the lightness. And then I used this Pilot pen to add line art to the skin. So next I'm going to get to coloring the top. For the top, I'm going to be using Cerulean Blue from the Master Art Colored Pencil Collection. I'm anticipating this to break as soon as I touch it to the paper because these colored pencils are very brittle, but we're going to see what happens. Alright, so I've taken a quite long break from filming. You saw the video of me coloring in the hair. I just added some more texture on top of it with different colored pencils and markers. So now the hair is just about done. And I also colored in the tail. I did that before the hair. And I used this color Cloud Blue from the Ohuhu regular 48 set of markers to do that. And now I'm going to get to coloring this little beluga friend over here. I've been waiting for this, so let's get into it. For this, I'm going to be using Blue Gray 3 from the Ohuhu pastel set to color in the beluga whale. And this is a beautiful blue-gray color. I mean, it's almost more gray than it is blue, but I'm going to still include it because, again, I need some tonal variation. If this video seems weird and like I'm skipping around a ton, and at some points I'm including a lot of detail, and at other points I'm just doing a sped up video of coloring a part, and then I skip to a whole new part, and suddenly something else is done without me even including any video on that. That's just because this video would be way too long if I included details on everything, and at first I thought that I was going to be able to include every art supply that I use on video and do the whole illustration, just like taking a video of it, but I'm not at all experienced editing and making videos, so this is just going to be a part of the learning curve, a part of the process, and we are going to make it work. So yes, I'm going to try to include the most, I guess, interesting art supplies. Like, I definitely want to take a video of me using the Sharpie because that's probably going to be the most difficult thing for me to use, but I'm not going to be able to include everything in so much detail. And I'm just trying to find a balance between making a 4-hour-long video of me doing this illustration and then just doing a short with some time lapses, because that's what the short is for, I feel like. The less detailed things, and I will be posting a short on this process as well if you don't want to listen to me rambling, but I just want to find a balance between a long video and a short video. Hello, welcome back from that long sped up video. Now we are on to our last art supply, office supply, whatever you want to call this massive thing. It is a Sharpie Magnum, and it's blue, so we're using it, even though it's very intimidating. This thing could probably be used as a weapon. But yes, I think I'm just going to add a little bit to the hair. I don't want to cheat and just add a little bit to the anglerfish where it's really dark and you won't be able to see it. But this is really intimidating. Adding such dark, large, not even details. These are like macroscopic additions. So, ooh. I actually really like the way that looks. I think I'm gonna keep moving upwards with that. It really does add some dimension into the hair, and yes, it darkens it up, but I'm not hating that. Yes, okay. I'm really liking this so far. Now, we have used dun, 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 our last art supply as far as I can see, but I am going to continue to add some more little details using supplies that I've already used. But we have made it. We have used 55 art supplies on one illustration, and that feels huge. What a way we have come. So yes, now I'm going to be moving back into the time lapse and just adding the final finishing details, and then I will be back for the outro. Alright, my friends, many hours later, and lots of blue art supplies, we got it done. 55 supplies later, finally. So, now all we have to do is sign the illustration 2025. And here it is. We have our mermaid, we have a beluga friend, we have an anglerfish, a little vine, and some submarine looking fishies. Finally, here it is. I'm excited to show it to you. I feel like it turned out really well, and let me know what color I should be doing next. Thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and that is it for this week. Bye!